Most people think anxiety is about the future, about money, about relationship, about uncertainty. But what if anxiety did not start at adulthood at all? What if it started in a room you barely remember, with rules you never agree upon, and with emotions you were never allowed to express? Many adults are not anxious because of what they do today. They are anxious because as children they learned that relaxation is unsafe. In this video, I'm going to show you how childhood influenced the nervous system, and what once protected you is now maybe the very thing that is exhausting you. My name is Aliyu Abdullahi. I did not find psychology because I was interested in theories. I found psychology because I was trying to understand myself. Certain reaction, certain fear, certain pattern I couldn't explain. Psychology gave me language for experience I never had word for. So right now I'm learning psychology through books and reflection, and I'm sharing what I'm learning here not to sound intelligent but to make sense of the things most of us feel but barely talk about. To understand adult anxiety, we need to stop thinking in terms of thought and start thinking in terms of nervous system. Because long before we had language, long before we could explain anything, our body was already learning what it felt to be safe and what didn't. When I say nervous system, I'm not talking about anything complicated. I'm talking about the part of us that decide without asking us whether to relax or to prepare for danger. It's the system that reacts before you have time to think. Let me give you an example. If I throw something on the ground that looks like a snake, maybe it's a rope, you probably jump before thinking. That reaction did not come from logic, it comes from the nervous system. Now imagine growing up in an environment where emotions are unstable, emotions are unpredictable. Some days feel calm and some days feel tensed. As a child, you don't analyze this, you adapt. Your body starts to learn to stay alert, to read the room, to anticipate mood. This adaptation is intelligent, but in adulthood, it often shows up as anxiety. So, anxiety is not malfunction. It's your nervous system doing exactly what it has learned to do, that is, to protect you. Once you start to see anxiety this way, something changes. You stop asking, what is wrong with me? And you start asking, what has my body learned? So let's talk about one more childhood pattern, not trauma, not abuse, something more common and more quieter. Emotional invalidation. This happens when a child's feelings are constantly dismissed, minimized, or misunderstood. When a child hears things like, you are too sensitive, you are not serious, stop crying, be strong. Often, those are done with good intention, an attempt to turn the child into an adult too quickly. Over the time, the child learns something important, not consciously, but in his body. My emotions are inconveniences and my feelings are unsafe. So the child adapts. They learn to suppress what they feel, they learn to compose, and they learn to function. And again, this is not weakness, this is intelligent, because in that environment, feeling less is better than feeling fully. But over the years, that adaptation show up differently. Emotions don't disappear, they lost their language. And when emotion don't have language, the body speak instead, through tension, through recklessness, and through anxiety. And this is often how adult anxiety show up. Not as constant panic, but as constant tension. You feel unease even though nothing is wrong. You struggle to relax without feeling guilty. You overthink conversation long after they are over. You stay busy, productive, and alert, but your body never fully rests. Because rest was never what kept you safe, awareness did. So even in peaceful moments, the body stay prepared, waiting, watching, anticipating. Not because danger is present, but because danger once could appear anytime. If anxiety is something the body learned in childhood, then healing cannot begin with thinking alone. And that is what we will explore next. If this video help you to understand yourself a little bit better, you can support this channel by liking this video. And if this kind of psychology resonates with you, consider subscribing. I'll be sharing content like this, slow, reflective, and grounded. If anxiety is something the body learned in childhood, then healing cannot begin with thinking alone. And this is where a lot of people get stuck, because we are trying to think our way out of our bodily memory. We analyze, we reason, and we tell ourselves that we are safe. This is why telling an anxious person just to relax barely works, because relaxation is not a decision. It is a signal. If the body never learned that relaxation is safe, it won't accept it just because the mind demands it. So healing is not about forcing the nervous system to calm down. It's about slowly teaching it something new. That the present moment is different from the past. That the danger is no longer constant and the vigilance is no longer required. And the first step is surprisingly simple. Not fixing, not controlling, just notice. Right now, as you are listening to this, notice your body. Don't judge it, don't change it, just listen. Is there tension anywhere? The jaw, the chest, the shoulder? Tension is not a problem, it's an information. For many people, this felt uncomfortable at first because paying attention to their body is not something that was modeled as safety. So if you feel restless, impatient, or distracted, that is not failure. That is the nervous system doing what it has learned to do. Healing began when the relationship between the body changed, when you stop treating it as something that is broken and you start treating it like something that learn earlier, learn intelligently, learn for survive. This process is not dramatic. There may be no big release, no sudden breakthrough. Often healing looks quiet, slightly longer pauses, slightly softer reaction, slightly more space between stimulus and reaction. Slightly, the body starts to notice something new, that you are older now, that you have a choice, that the room you are now is not the room you grew up in. And slowly, very slowly, alertness starts to loosen its grip. Anxiety doesn't disappear because you defeated it. It softens because there is no longer need, because the body has learned that I don't have to stay on guard anymore. In the next part, we're going to be talking about gentle ways to continue this process, not by forcing it, but by creating safety from the inside out. Number one, stop asking how to stop this. One of the biggest shifts you can make when anxiety shows up is stop asking, how can I stop this? And start asking, what is my body trying to protect me from right now? That question alone changes the relationship from resistance to curiosity. Number two, orientation to the present. Anxious nervous system is always stuck in the past, even when the mind knows better. So one of the best way to help it is through orientation. Right now, look around the room you are in. Name quietly 3 things you can see, 2 things you can feel, and 1 thing you can hear. Number 3, slowing without forcing calm. Another mistake people do is trying to breathe heavily right away. That can actually feel threatening for a nervous system that have learned to stay alert. Instead, pause and try something much simpler. Don't change your breathing, just slow your exhale quietly. Not perfectly, just enough to tell your body you are not in a hurry. Number 4, redefine progress. Progress does not look like never feeling anxious again. Progress look like noticing anxiety sooner, recovering faster, and be kind to your body whenever anxiety happens. That is not weakness, that is regulation. Before we close, I would like to share something with you. If you resonate with what we talk about today, especially the part of avoidance and self-sabotage, and you are feeling stuck even when you care, I have created a free resources called Hidden Psychological Conflict Behind Avoidant Self-Sabotage and Delayed Action. It helps you understand the inner conflict that often drive pattern, not through motivation, but through awareness. You can download it for free through the link in the description. There is no pressure. It's simply there if you want to explore this work more deeply. And if your anxiety felt overwhelming, constant, or rooted in a severe trauma, self-work alone may not help. Seeking support, it's not failure, it's wisdom. Anxiety begins as protection, so it doesn't need to be fought. It needs to be understood and updated carefully. Your nervous system is not broken. It adopts earlier, and with patience, safety, and reputation, it can learn again. Before we end, I would like to make mention of a book that deeply shaped the way I see anxiety and the body. It explains in grounded and careful way how experience, especially in our childhood, continue to live on in our nervous system. If you prefer a physical book, the link is in the description below. And if reading feels difficult, the audiobook is especially powerful. And there is also a free audiobook trial through the link available in the description. Just to be transparent, these links are affiliate link, meaning they support the channel without extra cost to you. Thank you for listening, and more importantly, thank you for paying attention.